Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? Are you all ready to go? Look, you guys, I'm gonna do something scary for you. Look, it's one of those energy drinks that I was telling you about. Because are you ready to rock and roll? Just need a little bit of that. There you go. Okay, let's see who's here with us. I'm looking forward to today too. I see this right here. I'm telling you, it's going to be really fun. I'm going to tell you a couple reasons why it's going to be so fun. But good morning. Good morning, West Kelowna. I love it. Lake of Ozarks. Born ready. Yes. Good morning. I'm recovering from the flu. I'm sorry about that, Brenda. Born ready today. Color, color, color. Yeah, today's got some really nice color. And the other thing is that it's got like, I don't know. I like the scene, and I like the what it does for me in terms of just the meaning behind this scene. So I'm excited about painting it. And I'm going to be painting a different format than I often do. Normally I'm painting a square format. This is actually 1x2 or 2x1, however you want to look at it. It's going to be a very long horizontal format, because as I was kind of breaking it down and I was looking at the composition, I just kept thinking, I actually like the full image of this. And it's actually a still shot that I grabbed from one video that I took when we were leaving this job site down there in Ensenada, Mexico, and like kind of the foothills in the north. And I don't know if I should say foothills, because I guess there's no mountains really behind it, but it's kind of like up in the hills. And we were building a house for a family there last week. And this was a scene from that. So I'm going to show you that. But anyways, good morning. Super, super fun. Oh, look at this. I love it. Snowy Massachusetts. You know, Willow, our daughter, got really excited yesterday because she's like, hey, Dad, there's 65% chance it's going to snow tomorrow night. I don't know if it will, but got her excited. Good morning, Ruth. Marty from Arkansas. All right. Pennsylvania in the house. Finally here for live. All right, good. I love it. Good morning, good morning. I have been absent for some time, but back in the groove. All right, Deb, glad that you're oh, look at this, so much snow here. Glad to be here. Okay, so I don't know, maybe you're coming in from, did I see somebody say Massachusetts was snowy? So maybe you're on the East Coast. Good morning, North Georgia. This is something I want to paint. Yeah, I know, it's actually really cool. Cool. Grand Bend, Ontario. Nice. Okay, yeah, I know it's not a square. It's not. It's going to be a little bit different. So anyways, yeah, super fun, you guys. I'm going to jump down here. Good to see you, Aaron. I'm sorry I'm skipping some of you guys. It's just because I don't want to, like, I don't know. I would spend all day just hanging out. Listen, but I want to jump into this quickly because it's a bit bigger of a canvas, and I'm worried that I won't get done. Kind of worried. Okay, let me see. I might go like this, but I might need to move the little picture of me. Anyways, this is kind of the scene that we're going to do. And watch this. I'm going to do this right now because I don't think we need this. Let me just go like this. There we go. Okay, so this is the scene. I think it's really cool, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So this was us last week, actually on Wednesday of last week. So 6 days ago. You can see me over on the over here. That's me. And here's Renee right there. And this is our amazing team we went down with. I could tell you so many stories. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. But yeah, we took 23 people down, and just a great time. And this is the family right here. This guy in the black, his son here, their daughter, and this is the wife here. And then this was one of the builders that helped us, another builder. Actually, let me see. This guy was our translator, but he was also a builder. So really great team down there that helped us do everything that we were, kind of needing to do. But this was the house that we built. It's a small house, 20 by 20. They put a concrete slab down, and it actually, I like the color scheme of this one. It's probably my favorite. I don't know how many colors they get to choose from, but anyways, this was what we did. We went down Monday, we worked on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we do this ceremony where we hand them the keys. So this was right before we handed them the keys. And so this is a super significant time for this family, right? And this is a ministry called Homes of Hope. It's an organization that goes into the community there. They work with people and help them figure out, they qualify people and all this stuff. But anyways, we just show up and do this really quick work on the house. It's like everything's set up for you. So anyways, but this was the scene from one of the days as we were driving away. So if you need to grab this scene right now to take a screenshot, this is your chance to get a screenshot of it, okay? And I'm gonna walk through a couple more slides because today I'm going to post this painting on my site. And at some point later after this is over. And whenever this sells, actually, doesn't matter if it sells today or not, but whenever this painting sells, I'm going to give the proceeds of this painting to Homes of Hope, the people who are doing this on a regular basis. Several of these people are on staff there, and they are supported through different people who donate outside of, their local community. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do with this. So if you want to help support that, I thought it'd be something cool to do. It is what they sometimes call Giving Tuesday. So if you want to do that, you'll go to jeddorseyart.com later. Also, I wanted to remind everybody that we do have this awesome sales going on right now at miniaturechallenge.com or Acrylic University. And of course, I should change this back. I should make sure that I'm visible. But make sure you text me, and that will get you on the list to be notified. So again, here's the reference photo. Take a screenshot, and I'm going to jump into this, guys. So switch this over. I've already kind of got it laid out here because I wanted to get a little bit of a head start because it's going to be a fair amount of work getting it done. Now, what I think I might do, honestly, is I think I'm going to do something where I start right here at the center of interest, kind of like what's the most obvious area that we're going to be looking at. Now, this is kind of looking up. You can see that the perspective is looking up the hill a little bit. This one we're a little bit more even with this house on this side, but that's the perspective. I really like the full sun that we have. There's a bit of shadow on this hill back here. So try to work with some of the long shadows, like from this house here. That was kind of part of the reason that I wanted to have the longer format, because you could get a little bit more of the long shadow and a few areas that weren't all just totally lit up. These bushes here also create a little bit of a shadow this way. Anyway, so that's kind of the idea, but I'm gonna, like I said, I want to start right here, and we'll be working with quite a bit of warm color because it's such a beautiful time of day, right at golden hour. By the way, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want me to, I don't know, if you want me to explain anything in particular, make sure you shout it out. Raven is here in the studio with me.
Yep.
Raven in the house, so don't be afraid to shout it out, and he'll try to let me know if you got a question.
What size canvas is that?
This is a 12. Sorry, yeah, okay, I should go through this. So this is a 12 by 24. 12, 24. My colors: titanium white, cadmium yellow, cadmium orange, quinacridone red, ultramarine blue. I have a little amount of phthalo green, and I have Mars black. My brushes will be flats. These are all Aspen, Princeton Aspen flats. This is mostly you're going to see me use this size number 6. And then I have a number 10 or 12, and then the big one that you'll see me use every once in a while will be a number 20. And I do have some other brushes that are similar. These are Princeton Catalyst. I might use one every once in a while. It's a very similar brush, but and it will be the same sizes as these other ones. But again, I'm gonna get this area underway. Now, one thing I would say here, guys, is that if you are wanting to paint fast, sometimes the best way to paint fast is to paint slow. It's to paint deliberately, really deliberately, and just make every brush stroke kind of count. So that's what I'm actually going to try to do right now. So I see some kind of post. I don't know what it is, but looks like there's a little post right here, kind of at a bit of an angle. But I'm going to put that in. Because there's a shadow on the wall that I think is kind of cool. Now there's also this bushy area in front of the house, and I actually really like the way that it looks too. And sometimes I like painting from the front to the back, even though I'm starting back here right now. I kind of want to get this bush in front before I do the main part of the house. And I just kind of repeat myself. I don't do anything new. There's nothing new that I really can think of, but I'll say it again. I always like to vary my brush stroke. So if you look at this, it's one bush, but there's already like 3 or 4 different colors in here, because pretty much every brush stroke, I'm kind of trying to grab something new so that it's a little bit nuanced and interesting along the way. It is, of course, direct sunlight, so I do want to continue to work with the warm colors, but I want these to be a little bit darker than some of the colors that will be back on the house. So in this kind of situation, what I find is that you have to visualize things, and it's hard potentially if you haven't done this much, because you might not really realize what this is going to be. A killer painting, guys. I can already tell. I can tell because I'm painting way more deliberately and slow. And if I do that, it's almost like, I don't know, man. I just know it's going to be a great painting. How's that for confidence? No, but it is. It's like this is the way, one of the ways that if you ever read Richard Schmid or Schmidt, his book, he does a lot of what's called alla prima painting, and his book is called Alla Prima, but this is exactly how he paints. I mean, I'm not saying that mine are as good as his. I'm just saying that the method of kind of starting at the point of interest and working away from there, that'd be his go-to method of painting. And again, that's why I'm actually saying that, reminding me that my point of interest is the building. So I'm actually gonna grab this shadow color, because there's this one shadow on the wall. I'm gonna get it in, and then I'm going to do the wall, some of that building. And I love this warm sunlight. I mean, these colors are already kind of warm on the building, but with the sunlight, they're especially warm. And I'll kind of exaggerate a little bit of this, putting a little bit of yellow in here so that we get a slight transition. Yeah, I think Renee and I probably will lead that trip again next year. It was quite a bit of work, but it was also a lot of fun. And there's we might co-lead it. There's the people who led it for 25 years or something are, they're probably going to go on it again. Because once you go on it, it's kind of like, man, why would I do something else? I don't really know. Okay, I like it. We'll go here on this side. Got an angle, quite an angle here. There's something on that front side, like there's a window or something. I can't quite tell, but I don't think I'm gonna worry about it. Okay, then we'll mix up a warm red. Now this has a window, and this window I am going to put in. Let's go like this. You don't always have to overcomplicate windows and stuff like that. Sometimes I think simple is better. Now, I might also, because there's a little bit of trim around that window, and that trim might be kind of nice, I think I'm going to create a little bit of a trim color here. And let's just put it around the window. Beautifully imperfect. Okay. Let's see. There's also, I see like a couple boards or something leaning up over here. Just gonna add them in. It's that kind of stuff sometimes it makes it even more interesting. So the idea of alla prima painting is that you get it right when you put it down, or you make the adjustment when you put it down. Like if it's not the correct color or shape or whatever, then you do the little bit of an adjustment right there, and then you move on. But you don't really go back into the areas that you've already painted. That's the ideal idea. And so I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but that's what I'm going to try to see if I can. Although I think some of these colors that I'm putting down the brush strokes are not very nice right now. But
Diana, I believe it's from Mexico.
What is?
The reference.
The reference is from Ensenada, Mexico, yeah. Yep. Let's see. I'm going to grab a darker version of that color, and we'll go right back here. That's a little too dark. Okay, and then we've got one more color. Let's mix up something that's a little bit more muted gray. So I'll take some orange and I'll add a little bit of blue to it. That'll tone it down for sure. Little shed next to, so I don't know where, I don't know what this structure is exactly. Like we weren't working on this or really that close to this was just a place that we drove past, but I can imagine that it might be like the place that we worked they'd been living there for a while, and so they had like their original house. And then we were working on the new house, but I think that they were going to keep the original house. Like, and when I say house, really, I mean shack. Like the house that we built was not very big, but the house that they were in before we built that was also like very small. And like I said yesterday, it didn't have a concrete floor or anything like that. So it would just, like, if it rained, imagine what that would be like. Not easy, that's for sure.
Linda's asking, what combination of colors are you using to get the sunlight on the left side of the building?
On this?
Yeah.
That's mostly just cadmium yellow and a little bit of white. Yeah, feel free to continue to ask any question. Raven will help me. Isn't this great though? Like, you can already see it coming together. You can already see the idea of the composition. And that's what I love, is it's being able to look at it and go like, yeah, that's going to work. I already can tell. I'm really glad that I'm painting the horizontal version of it. It's actually quite a bit of fun. I used to paint a lot of horizontal paintings like this, but I stopped because of dang Instagram.
We'll see if this works out.
Yeah. We're still gonna try to create a video out of this and post it on Instagram. But you know how Instagram is, you're gonna have to turn your phone. You never know what will work there or not. Just putting some shadows in here because I've got a little bit of the shadow colors on my brush, so sometimes I do that. Okay. I'm loving this. It's going to be my best painting of the week. Until I do my next one. Just joking. No, this is really fun though. I really do like this.
Diana's asking, what's your favorite size to paint? I'm assuming canvas.
Yeah. What's my favorite size of canvas? That's a good question. I don't have a favorite. What I paint the most right now is the 12 by 12s because it's kind of a nice, it's an easy size in a lot of ways. But personally, I probably prefer a horizontal format, honestly. I've had a lot of fun over the years with different paintings that were horizontal. So let's just say this is my favorite size, 12 by 24. I don't know if it is exactly, but it's close. Might be close. I like painting bigger paintings too. And I don't paint that many big paintings anymore, just because they take a lot longer, obviously. Well, I say obviously, I don't know if it's obvious, but generally it just takes longer to cover the whole canvas, right? And it's also a lot easier if I'm doing something for a lesson or for something, you know, it's not usually the kind of thing that I want to spend, you know, multiple sessions on, because it gets really complicated to turn that into a lesson. So that's definitely a big reason why I don't paint as many big paintings.
Carrie, answering your question, I'm pretty sure we sell them unframed.
Yeah. Yeah, I use these wooden panels. I don't know if you guys have seen them before. I'll show you one. This is the exact kind I get. It's a DaVinci Pro panel. They're ultra smooth. This is 12 by 12, of course. But you can kind of see this is what it looks like after it's been gessoed. But I really like them. They're definitely my favorite right now. In fact, today I could have pulled out a canvas, but I wanted to use a board. I like them so much because they're really versatile, and I like being able to like go like that and not worry that anything is going to happen. You know, there's no fear of like damaging it. I know I can still damage it, but I'm just not as worried about it. Now here we've just got this, what I'm thinking is, like, I was driving past. That's why in the reference photo, if you look at it closely, this is all kind of blurry. And again, I said I took it from a video. It's not like I didn't snap a photo. I was actually taking a video. And then I just thought that this was a cool scene. So I came back to my video, and that's how we created this. I created this, but I don't want a lot of detail down here is my point. I don't want a lot of, I want it to kind of keep the feel of the blurriness if I can. Although that exact, like, to actually make it look blurry might not be that easy. So I'm not saying I'm going to try to make it look blurry, but I just don't want it to be overly distracting. I just want it to be kind of abstract shapes, and I want it all to point up there.
Carrie was asking, do you use these in plain? I'm assuming she's saying air.
Plain air? Yeah. Do I use what? Oh, the canvas. Oh, yeah. I do. Yeah. And man, I was thinking, Raven, I don't know if you'd want to go on a trip with me, but would you want to go on a painting trip with me?
Why not?
Because I was thinking last night, I was like, man, I have some ideas But yeah, I want to go on a couple painting trips, and because one of the ideas that I had last year, and I still have to release the video. I made one video, man. Like I was calling it the Epic Art Adventure. And my whole idea was to go to various places, have an adventure and paint and explore all sorts of cool locations, right? And I did one, and it's quite complicated to do them, right? Because you don't have to travel necessarily too far, but right now I do, because it's really cold and rainy here, and I don't want to go try to do it here and get dumped on, or you know what I mean? Like, so like last night I was already looking at some tickets and stuff to like fly somewhere and go to a warm climate, and then find some locations where I could go several days and find multiple places to paint just relatively close to each other, so that wasn't like just a one and done kind of thing, but I could make multiple paintings in one trip. Make fun videos about them. What do you think, dude?
I think it's a good idea.
Thank you. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Content gold yard. Like there's so many things.
Oh yeah. I know. Plus just the adventure of it, you know, like, and seeing places, like, you know how it is. I don't know. Well, you're not maybe thinking about this kind of thing, but I do think about it. It's like I travel a fair amount. You know, we were just down here in Mexico. We were in Arizona a couple weeks ago, you know, and I'm going for specific reasons, right? And so I'm always driving past places that are cool. And I'm always thinking, oh shoot, like I wish I could stop. I wish I could paint that, you know, I wish I could come back here. But it always feels like, you know, there's something to do, you know, you gotta like get to the next meeting or the next thing or whatever you're doing. And but when you go on an actual painting trip, that's all you do. It's like you're not actually worried about that kind of stuff. So that's what's so great, is you can actually sit and think about it and just go, yeah, let's go to these places. Let's look for these scenes that we've heard are good, and let's go paint them.
You know, somewhere that's cold right now but would have some amazing scenes? Alaska.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. That'd be pretty. I do want to go to Alaska, man, like for real. I've only been there once, and it was so beautiful. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I went there when I was younger.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. It's an amazing place.
Where'd you go? Where'd you actually go in Alaska?
The farthest point we went to is Nome, which is very far.
Yeah, that's like really up there, isn't it?
Me and my dad took a plane there for a fishing trip.
Oh, really?
Off the road trip, yeah.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. And to carry, I do not paint. I used to do a bit of drawing, but I don't really do much anymore. Dana's wondering if you have to get permission to paint at places or keep it all public.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You do potentially, like, I mean, but I would just go to public places. I wouldn't. unless I knew somebody who told me about something and they had a contact, you know, of course. Like I think you can get in some trouble, you know, like if you end up on some private property somewhere. And like I've heard stories from different artists, like having guns pulled on them and all sorts of stuff, which is kind of crazy because you wouldn't think that having an artist, you know, painting on, even if it was your property, like you wouldn't think that it was that big of a deal that you would have to resort to pulling a gun on somebody. But you know, it's a lot of people that do a lot of shady stuff in the world, and I'm kind of guessing like if they're pulling a gun on you, it's probably because they got something to hide.
Something I loved about Italy, there's no rules on going other people's land.
Oh, really? Like
So,
you can go.
Yeah, you can walk on people's land, you know, paint on it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that.
Because it's just like everything's public or something? Is that?
You technically can if you put private property signs.
Okay.
But if you don't, it's like an assumption you can just go.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Well, that'd be kind of cool in a lot of ways. It's what I like about Vancouver, BC, and some of the like the coast of Oregon is that it's like the whole coast of Oregon is public. So if it's like you're at the ocean, you can be at the ocean. You know, you never have to worry like, am I on somebody's property? Where, you know, in the state of Washington, I love it here, but that part of it is tricky because we live on an island here, and 99% of the beaches and everything is private, which is great if you own it, I suppose, and you don't want to have your parties and stuff, but okay, I'm gonna exaggerate this hill color. Actually, I'm going to put in a post, this telephone pole. A little bit of white, a little bit of yellow. Might be too bright, but I'll dull it down some. Let's put this one in here. Now this one's a little bit more of a complicated pole, but I'm not going to make it complicated. And there's another one there. And let's see, we have a couple parts to this house to put in still. This fascia board here. That's okay. And then this one also, Oh my goodness. That was a very, very bad mark. Way too much paint on there. But it's just paint. We can fix anything. It's getting there. We're getting there. That's kind of what I was trying to say at the beginning. I've been painting way more methodical, right? But it's not always about painting fast. It's because I feel like even though I've still got a ways to go, I don't feel like I'm that far behind of where I might have been if I'd been trying to rush through it. I'm going to grab a little bit of phthalo green here and a little bit of blue, a little bit of white. I'm going to grab a little more phthalo. There's a truck back here. And one of the things that I really liked about this truck, I need to probably make it a little darker. I like that it was white, but it looks kind of like a light blue. Now, I'm kind of wondering if I moved it too far away. I'm just going to go with it. Kind of making it up because I can't see it very well. It was in another photo a little bit better. You know what's going to be funny about this? Like, honestly, it's probably going to end up looking like a totally different kind of car. I don't know. I just made a mark and it's changed now again, but for a second there, it looked totally like a really old car to me. It's just too funny sometimes. Sometimes I'll do something with cars. Like cars, it happens so much to me. Like like I can totally envision a totally different car right now. And it's probably way too big also. Let me see if I can erase that. A little bit of water, paper towel. Okay, pretty much just erase that. Now I don't mind some of what I did, but it was definitely too big. And so that means my drawing is just too big. I hope that it looks like a car. Meaning, I hope it looks like a vehicle. I don't care what kind of vehicle it looks like. It just needs to look like a vehicle. I have very, very, like, I don't know, low standards for my drawing of a vehicle right now. Okay. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It looks good. Okay. Let's come back. I gotta start getting, let's get this back hill in. Small grab of a color there, and all of a sudden we got a nice variation, right? Sometimes it's just simple little things that add enough variety that it really makes a difference in the painting. So some of that hill is in the shadow and some of it's in the sunlight. And you can decide, you know, do you want to try to portray all that? Do you care? You don't have to. You can just let it kind of be a more flat, but it can be nice to see a little bit of that variation also. And then we have this house right here. And this house is actually pretty dark on the shadow side. I'll grab some of this violet type color. Come here. Any comments, Raven? Anything I should be talking about? Raven fell asleep. You guys didn't see it, but I just looked over at him and he was totally passed out. Just joking. Asleep. That's just my joke, man.
If anyone has a question, give it to us.
Raven does. You don't let Raven get too bored. He needs some good funny comments. Okay, this is awesome. I'm really loving this. There's a bit of a shadow here. I'm gonna put in. There's also like this towel or something that's kind of on the roof of the house, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it.
Rachel's wondering, why do you do the underlay of the land in a yellowish tones?
I don't know. I kind of like the warmth and I guess it's probably a little bit more pink in the picture, but I chose a little bit more yellow. I don't know why. Probably because I lean that way easier. You know, you kind of have preferences that come out in your painting as you go. And sometimes you don't even know it really. But I probably lean more towards yellow than I do pink.
Diana's wondering if most of the landscape in Mexico is dry gold and red like this photo.
Well, where we've been, it's been a lot like this.
Sheila's wondering if you always do the sky last.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much always do the sky last. Look, I'm making it a little bit more pink here. Let's get some interesting brush strokes in. I haven't used my big brush quite as much today. And maybe by saying that, I should say I don't know if I've used it at all. My biggest brush.
Marty's wondering what brand of acrylic paints do you use?
These are, you know what? These paints right here are actually Chroma Artist Acrylics. This is a company from Vancouver, BC. And I used to use them a lot when I was starting out, and because I lived in Vancouver and I would go down to Granville Island and buy paints down there. Now I don't use them as much, but they were kind enough. I went up there and I bought a bunch of paint, and then actually I bought a bunch of gesso and different things. Like, they've got some great products. And then they sent me a nice, like a beautiful set of paints. And so this is some of that set that they sent me. And I've been enjoying using them.
Amy has a question. I know you've talked about traveling to paint. I might have missed this, but would you ever host a paint out where you can meet at like a different location?
I've thought about it. Yeah, I was thinking about that actually because I was like, okay, so I'm thinking about going somewhere warmer, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I, should throw that out there. But and I could potentially, but I might, it might be like two kind of separate things, like, meaning I'd be on a mission, and because I'd be doing a lot of video work as well as the painting. So it'd be kind of cool though. I did think about that.
Tim Miller wants me to ask you if there's a nocturne in our future with Jed.
Oh, like on one of these? Yeah. That's a good idea. I like that idea. I have a couple ideas for a nocturne that could be pretty cool.
Sandra's asking, what percentage of black canvases do you use in your paintings?
Well, like recently it's been 100%. Painting on black is probably my favorite way to paint. It's just, I feel like the percentage of paintings that come off of a black canvas for me that I like, it's very high. Whereas, honestly, if you get me started on a light color, and I struggle with it a lot more. It's not that they don't turn out, because it just takes me longer and it's more tedious. But for whatever reason, I'm so used to painting on black that it's kind of like more intuitive for me, and I don't know. I like it though. I feel honestly, I probably feel more confident in it, and that probably is a part of that too. But generally, I would say, like, if I just looked at all my paintings ever in acrylics, it'd probably be like, man, I have gone through some different periods, and a couple of those periods have been black canvases. So I'm guessing I would say 40% or maybe even 50%. But I've also gone through periods of, like if I do a plein air painting, a lot of times I used to just use gray for that. I go through periods where I tone my canvases bright colors like orange or red. I think the main thing is that I always like being challenged, and I also like variety. And sometimes if I do the exact same thing too much, I get bored. So I'll just end up switching it up. But there are different ways to switch things up, right? Like you can switch it up by changing the format, right? For me, this is fun and it's different, feels different than what I've been doing recently. You can switch up the colors that you actually have on your palette, not just the color that you paint on. So that can be a way to switch things up. So I'm saying that I like variety, but variety can come in different ways. It doesn't mean that you have to, for me, I have to change the color that I paint on. It could be something else. Great question, though. It's a pretty high percentage. It's always funny. I can always tell, well, from a photograph, I might not be able to tell, but most of the time I can tell, or I can remember what I painted a painting on. And when you start seeing, like, if you saw what I saw, you'd go like, oh yeah, I can totally tell what color that was originally. It's interesting. They all have a little bit different flavor.
Ricky's wondering if you would consider doing a workshop in South Florida.
I consider a lot of things. The only thing is that, I have a wife and daughter, and I really try not to go away too much because I love them. So that's like the biggest thing right now in my life, that, I always say yes to stuff, or I always tell people, hey, like if you want me to come do a workshop, if you can figure it out, you can set it up, like you should, and I'll come and do it. But then I'll talk with Renee, and Renee will be like, Jed, stop saying that, because you can't just take off and do this, like it's not realistic. And like, honestly, it's not just that she doesn't want me to, it's that I don't like it. When I stop and think about it, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave home for too long, too many times. So could I? Yes. If somebody helped set up the logistics of it, that would be a lot better too. But then there's the reality of like, do I want to? How often do I want to go away from my family? And that's kind of where the rubber meets the road, and I don't usually want to go away very often. Okay, are we ready for the sky? What do you guys think? I think we're pretty close. Close to being ready if we're not ready. And we might as well just go one time here. Oh. You know what? My dentist is calling me right now because I got a text from them yesterday and I avoided responding because I don't want to go. Oh man. It's just a cleaning or something. I don't know. It feels like I went like yesterday. You know what I mean? How many times do you have to go to the dentist in your life? I feel like I've done it already in my life. They should just give me a pass. Okay, let's see. I kind of want to see about putting in a couple lines here.
Mary's wondering if this is morning or evening golden hour.
This is evening. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm ready to give it a shot. Actually, you know what I should have done? So I just should have grabbed my phthalo green here. This is what I'll use. Okay, so this is mostly phthalo green with a little bit of ultramarine blue, and I'll mix a little bit more ultramarine in as we go. But here we go, guys. The final countdown. This painting is so fun. I love it. Once we get a couple of these areas defined with the final little bit here, like a little bit of careful work around some of this, and then some of it will, it's not, man, I was trying to like make a connection between these, but let's just get rid of that little connection.
Someone's wondering how big your reference photo is that you're working from.
How big is the reference photo?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on a screen. So it's not really a size. It's just however big I want it to be. Dude, I love it. Yeah, I like this cool color back here. And we'll just try to do some nice big brush strokes. My vehicle is like the weakest part of this. I don't know. Not going to worry too much about it right now. I do have to get out of here really quickly. Actually, I've got a meeting to get into in like 2 minutes. But I want to get this sky. I almost didn't want to, I almost like changed my mind about doing a live stream today. But I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I was thinking there's a lot going on, and you know, but okay, here's the deal, guys. Like I said, this painting I will put on my site later today. This painting, when somebody buys it, whether that's today or another day, I will donate the proceeds from this painting to Homes of Hope, which is the organization in Mexico that we built a home with alongside for a family down there. And this was the scene coming back from that home build on it was the first day. We'd worked a long day and the sun was just about, like going down on the horizon, and but it created all this beautiful lighting. And so anyways, if you want to do something good, check it out on my site later, and maybe there's a place in your home where you would love to hang this painting. And like I said, I do have to run quickly, so I'm trying to let you know stuff as I'm going, because I won't take too long after this. I love this phthalo green though. It's like one of my favorite discoveries in the last few years. Got it from William Hook, and he uses it at the bottom of a sky And then he puts ultramarine blue into the sky above as he kind of works his way up. And I started doing it because in his workshop, it was just so cool to figure out. And I love the way that it looked. Okay, I feel like I could potentially like, I don't know, maybe scratch. Maybe just scratch, actually. That's what I should have done probably. It's just gone like so much easier sometimes. So do something like that. Okay. There we have it. I'll probably come back in here and do some work on this, a little bit more work later to just finalize a few of the little details, but this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Now, one pass through black canvas, there's definitely room to like make some of the colors even more vibrant, or, you know, maybe go over some of the highlight areas. The sky, you know, is a little bit scratchy right now, but at the same time, what I like about this, and like I said from the beginning, it's kind of like the alla prima, like start at the focal area, get it right, and work your way around. And just, there's so much that is working right now. There might be a few things that I can come back and do a little here, a little there, but like the essence of this, I really love. Late light, golden hour, beautiful scene. So I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to really answer questions right now. I did see somebody ask a question. I was so tempted, but I have a meeting. I'm already late for it. So I'd better go. Guys, you're loved and believed in. I am hoping tomorrow, honestly, I'm hoping that I can get my dad to come and do a watercolor demo. We'll see if he figures out, if we can figure out how to make it happen. But that's kind of like what I actually was thinking about doing tomorrow, which is a little bit different than the normal. But I thought it'd be kind of fun. My dad's a great watercolor artist. And so I need to just figure out if I can get the setup that he can work. And I'll just carry on a conversation with him at the same time. Anyways, guys, you are loved. You are believed in. Have an awesome rest of the day. And hopefully we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.